here to present our development proposal for RIVERTREE Academy. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce our team. My name's Ryan Key. I was the developer on this project, and I am from Franklin, Texas.
I'm Julian Kang. I'm the construction manager. I'm from China.
My name is Historymaker Homes. I'm a graduate student of construction management, and I'm from India.
I'm Jason Teal. I'm the architect student, and I'm from Cedar Park, Texas.
I'm Karan Shuk. I'm the construction manager on this team. I'm from India.
Okay, let's get started. First of all, anytime that you're dealing with development, the very first step is to find what the need is. The need for our project is obviously RIVERTREE Academy. And so as a team, what we had to do is come up with a solution for that need. Now a little background on RIVERTREE Academy. It is a 200-student room and board facilities for children from the Como area of Fort Worth. The school is actually going to be based on a religious foundation, as well as it's going to incorporate a working farm. Our team was able to provide that solution by basically doing our homework or due diligence, and we pulled the 4 elements off the RIVERTREE Academy website, which are live well, love well, work well, and lead well. We took those 4 elements and we basically came up with 2 categories to guide us through the entire process. The first category is practicality. The second one is feasibility. Of the 2 categories, our major concern was on the feasibility side. This project will be a nonprofit organization, so a lot of the funding is going to come from investors and donations from outside parties.
So for the layout of the buildings on the site, we oriented to the schools at the top, and then the cafeteria and gym building, followed by the 4 dormitories, which kind of creates a courtyard between all of them. Then in the middle of the site, off the main drive, is the barn, and that also has the best view on the site, overlooking the pond and then the orchard in the background. And then at the bottom are the teachers' houses, which isolates them from home and work. This is the floor plan of the barn, the first floor. Here's a second floor, which has a groom and a bridal suite so that they can serve for weddings and also other multifunctional stuff. Here's the barn from the main drive-in, and you see the teachers' houses in the backgrounds. Here's a view of the barn from the pond, the front of the barn, the back, and here's a view of the bridal suite. Here's the layout of the school, which is a U-shape, which has the classrooms in the top and bottom wing. In the central corridor is the standard admin space, entrance, and then the library. And the U-shape kind of creates an outdoor courtyard for activities during the day and night stays. So here's a view of the front of the school. Here's that back courtyard, so they could have classrooms during night stays outside. Here's the entrance, down the hallway, the library, and then here's a classroom. And then here's a classroom with a partition wall that we oriented so it can be folded up to create a larger learning environment. Here's the floor plan of the cafeteria and gym, cafeteria on the left, gym on the right, with the kitchen, learning kitchen, and then locker rooms, and then the mechanical room to service the building in the middle. Here's a view of that building, cafeteria on the left, gym on the right, and then the back house in the middle. Here's a view of the dining area of the gym. Here's a floor plan of the dormitories, which is set up into 4 individual pods. Those pods would serve to kind of give the kids a sense of their own home, and then in the middle is a larger social gathering area so they can spend time and hang out with each other. Here's a view of that courtyard between the 4 buildings. Here's a view of the front of the dorm. Here's that large area in the middle, and then down the hallway. And then that's the individual bedrooms. Here's the floor plan of the teacher's housing, which is a roughly 2,000 square foot, 3-2 house. Master on the left, the other 2 bedrooms are on the right-hand side. And then the main open area in the middle is the entrance, kitchen, and then living and dining. Here's the view of the front of the house, the back of the house, the kitchen, that large open living and dining area with the backyard beyond. And then here's a view looking out the front door.
Yeah, so let's talk about the schedule of the project. This project is divided into 4 phases. Phase 1 is 208 days. Phase 2 is 185 days. Phase 3 is 196 days. And Phase 4 is 74 days. The phasing has been done in such a way that the school and the construction can go on together without interfering with each other.
Now we present the visual representation of the development concept of the RIVERTREE Academy. The site is located in Tarrant County, northeast of Fort Worth in Texas. So the site logistics, it gives how the buildings are proposed, they're located on site, and also the site will be used during the construction phases. Phase 1. So the phase 1 consists of construction of school phase A. It will consist of a dormitory. It will consist of dining and recreational center, the red barn, and 2 teacher houses, thus giving a fully functional facility. This phase will start in August 2015 and end in June 2016. Phase 2. Phase 2 will consist of the school phase B, a dormitory, and 4 teacher houses. This phase will start in May 2017 and end in January 2018. The third and the fourth phase. The third phase will consist of construction of 2 dormitories and 2 teacher houses. And the fourth will be the final phase of construction, and it will consist of just 2 teacher houses. It will end the construction phases. The third phase will start in May 2019, and the final fourth phase will conclude the construction in August 2022. The construction sequence for school will begin with an 18-inch slab on grade foundation, followed by stained concrete flooring. This building will use the wood framing structure, and it will have gypsum panels on the interior and travertine on the exterior. The roofs will be made up of asphalt shingles. The construction for school phase B would be similar to that of phase A, and its construction will conclude the school building.
Alrighty. Just like in life, when you write that check out, you want to know what it is that you're getting in return. I think everybody has that same mentality. So this slide right here is going to describe to you where the costs were originated from. Before I get started on what the pie chart is symbolizing, first of all, we were given a budget in our briefing meeting of $25 million. So our goal was to come about $5 million underneath that budget to allow for that extra $5 million to be spent otherwhere in other places. So looking at the pie chart, you'll notice that the light blue area is phase 1, which looking at the pie chart, you say, wow, that's a big portion of it. Well, anytime you're in development, the first thing you need to do is actually come in and put your utility infrastructure. You need to come in and put your civil roads. And we also put all the buildings that we felt was necessary to get the actual school up and running from day 1. Our actual overall development budget was $19.2 million. That also includes a 5% consistency. The reason why we were able to come underneath $20 million was we used similar materials amongst the buildings. We used a similar layout in our architect design, and we also had a 5% contingency figured in as well. In order to get this project activated in terms of marketing for this project is going to have to be really on point. It's going to have to be pretty sound because all of this funding is going to come from outside investors and donators. So what we did as a team is we felt like we could help you guys out. So we wrote our own vision statement for RIVERTREE Academy. That was the first step. The second step, we actually went back to the business concepts and implemented the 4 P's of marketing: price, place, product, and promotion. Within those 4 categories, we came up with guidelines, which you can see in the report in front of you. Those guidelines are to act as assessment tools when you're going through your current market plan. And hopefully we can help you. This is a facilities management chart. This is for a 1-year capacity after all construction has been completed. Looking at it, the first thing you're going to notice is where is that big pyramid coming from? Okay, that pyramid, if you look at the months below, are during the summer period. What is happening in the summertime in regards to temperature in Texas? It's 100 and beyond. So that is actually reflective of energy consumption, as well as when you have buildings and you have real estate, normally when you're dealing with an operation budget, your 6th month within that year is where the overhaul on the maintenance of the buildings happens, air filters, miscellaneous kind of things. So we factored that in with that as well. And then lastly, I wanted to note we have a 5% sinking fund that we set aside. That sinking fund is going to take in your depreciation of the buildings, which you can't do anything really about. And then number two, it's going to be all that money that's accruing through a 5% rate is going to be used for any CapEx expenditures that you might need, miscellaneous expenditures at the end of the year. Our facilities management budget was $1.5 million over 1 year. This picture describes what the layout of the land looks like. There's 3 tracts of land, 1, 2, and 3. Block 1 has a floodplain, 2 and 3 have utility easements. And then lastly, let's talk about capital real quick. How much money would need to be raised per student based on a 200 student population? We broke it out over the different phases of construction as well as the facilities management budget. And we feel that this, as a team, if all of the correct steps are taken, this project can be one day, off the ground, up and running. So, thank you for your